Hey everybody, just Mike with Movie Nights with Mike. I'm here. I'm here at the theaters. Just got out of the last showing for the Marvels. I don't know. I was just bored, and I thought I would, do a little bit of content for the channel. So here I am. Went to the Marvels. It has Brie Larson in it. And I mean, Samuel Jackson's in it. That's about all who I recognized. I mean, I didn't even really see the Captain Marvel when it first came out. I know it was like supposed to be the bridge between, between Infinity War and Endgame. But I don't know. I just never got around to seeing it. I kind of had at that point, superhero fatigue. And I think I've talked about that before in some of my videos. Probably when I talked about Oppenheimer, I believe I talked about that. And I don't know. I saw The Holdovers 2 times this weekend, and I don't know. I was like, I guess I was a little curious about the Marvels. See what it'd be like. I'm not really. I mean, I know the director directed the Candyman remake, and that's about all I really know about her. From what I understand, she hasn't really directed much besides that. But I mean, that's not really. A surprise with Marvel movies. I mean, a lot of times they've gotten a lot of their directors. I mean, look at the guy that just did the last Spider-Man trilogy. He really didn't have much to his record either before they asked him to do those Spider-Man movies. And he did like a horror movie before that. I mean, I know Scott Derrickson, who did the first, who basically did the first Doctor Strange movie. I know that he basically did before he did that, like he did Sinister and stuff like that. So I know it's not really, I know it's not really a surprise that when they ask these directors who are basically like no names. And I mean, I saw a tweet earlier today basically calling out Marvel for trusting somebody with this director with this film because she didn't know what she was doing or something. And producers, I mean, quite frankly, in my film class, when we talked about it, producers actually have a lot more control than the directors a lot of times. Like the producers basically dictate to the directors exactly what they want in the film, pretty much. So what you see, I mean, yes, there's a director involved, but unless the producers really want that kind of cut in the film, then you're not really that cut is not going to be in there. I mean, there's a reason why Ridley Scott releases a new final cut of Blade Runner like every 5 years, because I mean, like when Blade Runner came out the first time in 1982, it was the film was how can I say, completely different than the movie that we ended up getting. But from his final cut, it went through screen testing, and the screen testers didn't like what they had seen, that was going on with the movie. So they went and they did reshoots, and they made sure that when they did the reshoots that, I mean, they came back and, did like voiceovers, sort of like, a lot like what a lot of old detective movies would do. And so when they brought like Harrison Ford in to do the voiceovers, I mean, he just basically did what Harrison Ford does when he's annoyed. He does it half-assed. So anyway, fast forward like 10 years after, like the movie bombed in the theater anyway. I guess they went back and they asked Ridley Scott, the film company, to release his version of the movie, and that's how we basically got the first final cut. And it was released in 1992. And so, anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I went and saw the Marvels. What I think of it, I'm not going to crap on it. I didn't think it was as terrible as what I've heard about it. But, did I think it was, like, revolutionary? Did I think it was great? Would I put it up there with all the other, the bookends of the Marvel, of the MCU franchise, of Iron Man when it came out in like 2008, or even with a Captain America, Winter Soldier, or any of those other ones. No, I wouldn't. I would not put it up there with those. Did I think it was decent? Yes. But, there was just a lot of stuff that, just, it seemed like it was filler, and quite a lot of plot holes, if you ask me, in the film. So, I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was great, and I would not go and see it again. I wouldn't pay to see it again. This is one of those movies where, in my opinion, in the past, like Marvel, before they started having all these issues with their movies, bombing, like they used to be, or not bombing. You know what I mean? Before, they weren't living up to expectations. Like they were now they're subverting our expectations, as Rian Johnson from Star Wars fame would say. So anyway, back then it was just like they would come out with a movie, and if it was like a filler movie, to basically get people in the seats to build it up to another, to be a bridge to another movie, they were fine with that, and because they knew it was going to make money no matter what. And now all of a sudden, it seems like that since they've been taking a lot of stuff on water lately, that their margin for error is narrowing, as I would say. So, in my opinion, I felt like this was a movie that was basically just like what I said. It was just basically trying to bridge the gap for a bigger story here in the future, for the next phase of the MCU. So that's just my personal opinion on it. The runtime is an hour 45 minutes. Special effects seem, I don't know. I remember seeing a review from Red Letter Media back in the day about Adam Sandler's when he came out with Jack and Jill, and the budget was like $75 million or whatever. And quite frankly, when I heard that this movie was like $250 million budget, I just don't see it. I don't see how they spent like $250 million on this movie as the budget. And I know there were reshoots. Don't get me wrong. I know there was reshoots, and I know and everything. But quite frankly, I just don't know what they did with the money, because there wasn't so much stuff going on in the movie that it just seemed like it warranted a $250 million budget. That's just my opinion. So anyway, let's see. So I would not add this to my collection. I wasn't really a big Marvel guy anyway. In fact, like I told you all before, you know, that I've pretty much like put like all my stuff like that I don't care for up for sale, like on my Mercari set, on my Mercari store and stuff. So, and you know, like all of it's like my Marvel stuff. So I have, you know, I just don't really. I'm just not really a big, huge Marvel guy, I guess. And I'm not really a huge I'm not even a DC kind of guy either. Quite frankly, just like I told you, I'm kind of tired of the superhero genre. I would rather see more movies like I saw the other night, like The Holdovers, where it was, you know, it was actual, like a genuine type of story with, you know, instead of fluff. I want to go back to, you know, the days of regular cinema stuff. So if that basically, you know, blackballs me, then I guess it blackballs me for what you think of me. But I mean, that's just my opinion. So anyway, to get back with the Marvels, I just felt like it was going every direction. You could definitely feel the reshoots. I know that they tried. And I mean, I think that's the reason why they went back and did the reshoots, is because the air, like the margin of error for, you know, Disney and Marvel is, you know, because they've, you know, taken on so much water this past year with their films, that they are doing anything they can to try and make a buck. So I think that's the reason why they went back and did the reshoots. Otherwise, you know, if other movies like, you know, Quantumania did well, or, you know, the Pixar movie did well earlier, or even it looks like they might be, you know, having to write off, even though, like, it might even look like they might have to write off Snow White because of things going on with that production, that they're just basically trying to recoup anything that they can. Otherwise, I think if this was like 5 years ago, and when Marvel was at its top peak, like right around like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff like that, they would have just released this. They would have released the copy the cut that they had before they went back and did the reshoots. That's just my opinion. Like, they're just trying to do anything they can to, like, basically salvage the property. And so, anyway, I think Brie Larson was pretty good in the movie. Overall, I just felt like a lot of the choreography was clunky. Like, the action sequences were clunky, especially, you know, dealing with, like, Monica Rambeau. Like, I mean, there was, like, a scene in the movie where it reminded me of that scene in, The Last Jedi, where, like, Rey and Kylo are in the chambers where Kylo, you know, kills Snoke or whatever the hell his name is, and like, they do all that weird choreography, fighting and stuff like that, and it just that just felt like it was clunky and weird and out of place. And that's how I felt with a lot of this choreography and fighting action sequences in this movie. So, anyway, I would give the movie like a C+. I thought it was decent. I thought it was average. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Anyway, just let me know in the comments below what you think. What if you saw it, what you thought of it. What would you grade it? What's your favorite MCU movie? Quite frankly, mine I think is still like the original Iron Man. I remember going to see Iron Man, and I absolutely adored that movie. And I mean, when I go back and rewatch it, it rekindles that magic for me every time. Like I forget about it, and then I put it back on, and then it just rekindles it for me again. So that's probably my favorite. So anyway, that's all I really got. So like, subscribe. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate in the state of Maryland or Pennsylvania, I'll leave my my information in the description below. And with that, I hope you all have a great night. And with that, good night. And I look forward to reviewing the next one for you. Good night.